guys, so I'm really nervous that I'm about to start some shit with this video, which is not at all what I want to do. I feel like this could be used as constructive criticism, and maybe if there are some gaps in communication and some things that are not getting all the way through that probably do need to be addressed, that I'm also putting that out in the open so that people who can address these issues are at least aware of them. So I want to talk about my experience with IME Action. I planned a Millions Missing event for last Saturday, and part of what I want to focus on is the core group of IME Action, which is based in the States, and part of it is the people in Germany. So first of all, I announced in this group that I've got the space, I'm gonna be planning an event in Bielefeld, and is there anyone else around who would like to be part of my team and help out? And then I realized that if you're not a not-for-profit organization, you're not free from the corporation tax, which means that if you're reserving this public space, they assume that it's for commercial purposes and you have to pay quite a bit per square meter. Yeah, if you're not-for-profit, you pay like a small fee for the entire square. So I was asking in the group, like, can IME Action Deutschland reserve the space for me or authorize me to make the reservation in their name? And then I found out that they don't actually have any legal status in Germany, so they couldn't make the reservation for me. It's not like an official organization with a leader or anything, and the people who are planning this event in Berlin have never done this before, so they don't actually have any more experience at this than I do. And they were saying you could instead just register it as a protest so you don't have to pay, but if it's a protest, then you're not allowed to set up stands or tables or hand out flyers, which was exactly what I was planning to do. So fortunately, I was able to find a not-for-profit who was willing to make the reservation for me. And then I posted in the group saying, can somebody help me come up with a letter that I can send to businesses, because I want to contact as many businesses in the city as possible and let them know that we're planning something, so that maybe they can hang up a flyer, let their customers know to come out, they can come out themselves, they can donate to help support us so that we can make more happen at the event itself. And I got pretty much no response, and then a few weeks later I saw that a few days before I had posted, somebody else had posted saying that they wanted to contact TV stations and could someone help them come up with a sample letter. And I was just like, why are they getting such a response and I've got nothing at all? And I started this group, which I mentioned in the video I posted beforehand, and I was saying in the group that I want to get donations because I got all of these ideas from the IME Action website on how to plan a protest, and I'd like to make a lot of these happen, but of course it's going to cost money. And a couple of them said they had someone they could talk to, but one person needed an exact figure, and I'm like, well, I can't tell you exactly how much it's going to cost, it just depends how much money is there. That determines how much we're going to be able to make happen. We need the money first. They seemed to think that it was sketchy that I was trying to get donations. And then the German group started a crowdfunding campaign to raise money for their event, and of course there was nothing sketchy about that one. And then I saw on the website it says you can have t-shirts printed locally, and they give you the logo and the guide for like the font and the colors so that you can match their style. And I spent so many hours designing this t-shirt to get it just right, make it look as cool as possible, and I took the quotes from the posters they used last year and translated those into German and put them on the t-shirt. And then I shared it, and some people were saying, well, I want one that just says Germany and not the city, so I can wear it in a different city next year. I want one without the year, so I can wear it every year. So then I made like another couple versions of every single t-shirt, with every single quote. And then the German group decided to take it down because they're like, do you have permission to do this? And I said, well, it's right there on their website. Why would they put it on their website and provide you all the materials if they didn't want you to do this? So then I was in contact with the people from the US. And they were saying, as far as fundraising, what do you need money for? And I'm like, for the ideas that I got from the document on your website. I found a document on the website, how to plan a protest, and it had all these ideas of how to make a huge impact and get a lot of attention. And I went through and I said, there's a lot of ideas here that I really like, and I would love to make them happen, but of course we need money to make them happen. And I also wanted to arrange a screening for Unrest when it was first released. That it didn't happen, but I thought it would be great to combine the two and have Unrest shown either the same day, like event in the afternoon and Unrest in the evening, or like the next day. Then they're saying, well, don't try to do too much. Small event is better than no event. Just focus on the basics, and it shouldn't really cost much. But not costing much is not the same as not costing anything at all. Why are these ideas even listed on the website then if you don't want people to actually make them happen? And okay, yeah, a small event is better than no event, but why not try to do as much as you can? All we need is the donations. And just have everybody buy their own t-shirt. Okay, well, the people who are affected themselves that I found through the Facebook group all abandoned ship because they felt that everything was too disorganized. We were waiting on the information to be released in English in the States and then to be translated into German. I understand that the people who are, coming up with this stuff in the original form are sick themselves, and it's, really hard for them. But, in the end, I figured instead of waiting until the last minute and not having time to get everything done, I would rather just take the information from last year and translate that, and then when the new information came out, I took a couple sentences from that, but, the goal this year was to have everything be as uniform as possible, but the information wasn't there when we needed it. But they decided to back out, which basically left me there on my own at the local level. People more experienced than I am were saying that if it's this disorganized, then the best thing to do would just be to cancel and focus on planning something for next year when you've got more time. I definitely don't want to cancel. I wanted to make as much happen this year as possible and not put it off to next year. I don't know, what's going to be happening next year, if I'm going to be able to do anything at all. I did find a couple friends who agreed to help and said, well, we need to get t-shirts, but they couldn't afford to buy t-shirts themselves, and I'm living off donations, so I can't really afford to get t-shirts for them. So even that small expense, that's enough to warrant donations for us. And then, you do have to pay for the space. Even though the not-for-profit was helping me, there's still some expense there. And and why not plan as much as possible? They're encouraging me not to do any more. And then I see the people in Berlin who organize a live stream, for example, which was one of the ideas that I got from this document. And they say, oh, we're going to be doing this in Berlin. I said, okay, well, why does it seem like, everything I come up with, somebody has a problem with it, but then when they do it, it's fine. And then I wanted to organize having the Unrest film shown, and they said that you still have to pay for the rights to show the film. Like, but I'm organizing this event for the same organization. This is the same people that made the film that plan these events. So, like, shouldn't I be able to show your film at your event? And then they said, well, since you had so much trouble with the t-shirts, we'll let you... Like, it shouldn't have anything to do with the t-shirts. It should be the fact that I am investing all this time planning an event for you guys. So then, at some point, I realized that the Germany group was saying, so we have this event in Berlin, we have a film screening in Hanover, and they weren't mentioning my city at all. And I'm like, so wait, what's going on here? And then they said, yeah, we've been trying to contact you, but we haven't gotten any response, maybe some technical difficulties. And I'm like, no, I didn't respond because every time I post a question in the group, the response I got was, the info flyers are coming. Like, you know, I'm saying, like, how many people are affected by me in Germany? And it's like, the info flyers are coming. Are there any news articles about the Unrest film in German? The info flyers are coming. I'm like, can you just answer my question? And then right after that, I would get like this really long inbox message that still didn't answer my question. So I felt like, I have nothing to say to that. And now they're saying, well, we can't contact you. I'm like, there's only one person who tried to contact me, and I didn't get a follow-up like, hello, did you get my message? We'd like to Skype with you now. Nothing like that. No contact from anybody else. Then I didn't hear anything from them after that, but I would comment on, like the fundraiser, like, oh, is this money only for Berlin? It was just like, send an email or inbox this person. So finally I did have another couple questions, and I contacted them again, and they, it shows right away the message is read, and it's not until a few hours later when I post the link to the t-shirts that I get a response, like a quick response to my question saying, I don't know. And then saying, oh, and by the way, you used the wrong font for the t-shirts. I'm like, I used the fonts that they want used, but not all of the fonts were available. And then I sent another couple questions, and instead of answering my questions, I get a response that, yeah, we decided to take the t-shirts down until we get this cleared up and find out if, like, you're really allowed to do this. And then a public post in the group explaining to everyone else why the link to the t-shirts was taken down, to which I replied, it's right there on the website, like, and then they started collecting, like, the posters from patients to attach to the shoes, and I was like, oh, you guys told me that I could use those, that I could use the ones that are being used in Berlin too, so how do I get access to them? And they're like, well, they're for official events, and you need to send an email. I'm like, but the person behind the email is the same person I've been messaging over Facebook who's not responding to me, so, like, why would I send an email? Like, what difference does it make? We've been communicating on Facebook for months. Yeah, and then I was in contact with the person in the US. I was like, just, I can't work with them, and I don't want to deal with this drama. I'd rather focus my energy on planning my event than going around in circles with them. So could you just, give me any information directly? And he said he'll try to, like, mend things with them. And I reached out again saying, would you like to answer my questions now? And the response I got was, not until you answer my question about the t-shirts. I'm like, I've said everything I had to say about the t-shirts on the post in the group. And that was it. Like, after that, they just acted like I didn't exist. And it was just really strange because, of course, on the global poster with all of the cities, I was listed. I was in contact with the people in the US. I was featured in their newsletter. I was in the newspaper, and yet they're still acting like I don't exist. So, like, basically the event planning itself was stressful because I felt like I really didn't have any support at all on the local or national level. And this stress with the other people in Germany was, of course, not helping. And I was just really ready for it to be over so that I could relax. And, like, I was looking forward to it, and I still wanted to do as much as possible. Even with, like, just 3 weeks left to go, they were saying, you know, just relax, like, don't try to make anything happen, just do what you've already got planned. And at that point I had, like, nothing planned, but I was like, you know, I want to make use of this time and plan as much as possible. And I did manage to accomplish quite a bit in those last 3 weeks, but I was just, like, really stressed all the time. And I think that, you know, like, constant adrenaline was, like, keeping me going, and I got a lot done, but it was still very exhausting, and I was just ready to relax. And then after it was over, like, I was still going, like, I was still, like, really tense, and, like, I just couldn't relax. But I started coming up with all these ideas, and I was like, you know, oh, we could do this and we could do that, you know, like we could plan events every 2 months, or we could, you know, start planning for next year. And, you know, just, like, really excited and, like, wanting to continue on. And I'm like, okay, so maybe I don't want to just leave it there. I don't know, but I think I can't work with these people in Germany. So, you know, what am I gonna do going on into the future? Like, does that mean that I need to find some other cause and I can't work with ME Action because they're, you know, standing in my way, just trying to shut me out? Or do I have to continue working around them, or, you know, start my own organization? I don't know. Yeah, but at least the good thing was, for the event itself, what I wasn't even really expecting was that there were a few people that had heard about it that came out. They traveled quite a way to be there, and they came and introduced themselves and just kind of hung out with us for several hours. And it was just really nice to get to meet people in person and get to share our stories. And one person told me, this was this ME patient's husband said that while they were out eating, he noticed that it was like, you know, she's been sick for all this time, but it was like the kids just then really realized that she's sick, and that it, you know, really made an impact for her. And, you know, there was somebody else who said, I've been going to doctors for 10 years and I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't find anything, and I think this might be it. For me, that was just, like, a really powerful experience to think that, you know, that this event, like, it really had an impact in people's lives, like, the day it happened. Not even, you know, not even something we're working toward that might not happen for a few years. You know, like right here, right now, people's lives are being changed, and that was incredible. And that's why I would like to continue being involved, but I just feel like these issues need to be addressed somehow so that it's not as stressful. I think that even minor expenses can't be ignored. In my situation, I'm not in a position to feed my own money into this because I don't have any money of my own. So, you know, it's difficult to make stuff happen if I can't find sponsors, but then they don't want to, they're not encouraging me to find sponsors and to do as much as possible, which I find strange. You know, and I don't know if it's just because, like, it's not the main city in Germany, like, they don't want my city to overshadow Berlin. And then dealing with the people in Germany, I had quite a few people from the Facebook groups contact me directly to say, you know, thank you so much for your effort, and, you know, just ignore them because there's apparently a lot of sort of like bickering in the group that I hadn't really noticed. And I guess this group is maybe like their own little clique or something. Somebody said maybe they have a problem with me because my name isn't German, and they're just like, oh, this is some foreign person or something. I don't know. But I pretty much kept to myself about the fact that they were ignoring me. Like, if anybody contacted me, I didn't want to, badmouth anybody. And then after the event, I was like thanking each organization individually that had helped support me in doing this. And when I got to thanking this not-for-profit, somebody jumped in and said, yeah, it was nice that they were there, but the group that really deserves thanks is ME Action Deutschland. And I'm like, okay, the people in Berlin were working with a different not-for-profit. If they post about them, would you jump in and make the same comment? Well, no, because they've been helping us from the start. I'm like, okay, they were helping them, but this not-for-profit was helping me. And that feels like a total Kanye moment to just jump in and say, well, this one deserves more thanks. And at that point, I was, like, the event was over, and I was just so frustrated that I finally said, you know what, they haven't given me hardly any support at all. I've been trying to plan this event for months. I'm constantly posting questions. I was really excited about this, and they just completely shut me out. And, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.